it's Hannah again. Welcome to another week on my vlog. This will be the last week of January. Can you believe it? Almost over. If this is your first time on my channel, thanks for checking me out and I hope you enjoy this video. Just finished trying to tie the hedge up a bit more, so I managed to do quite a lot on the actual hedge, cutting it down. I'm just distracted by the sky and I did most of it today. It was quite a lot of fun and finally got most of the big ones down. But have you seen the sky? It looks like there's like a fire over there or something. This is crazy. So it's lovely evening now, and yeah, really made a big dent in the hedge work, so slowly but surely. And next step after tidying it up, it will be to level the ground where it's going, where the greenhouse is going. So that's another big job. But yeah, look at that sky. Just walking the dog, and we're just arrived back at the allotments where we usually end our morning walk. It's really foggy today after a really clear day yesterday. Quite warm in the sun actually. I had lunch outside at work, which is pretty cool. Obviously found a nice brick wall to sit against, but it was lovely. So today is also going to be sunny. It doesn't feel like it right now because it's freezing fog. It's -2 and quite chilly. So I'm not going to have access to the plot until after midday due to childcare. But I'm going to be outside having some lovely time, just, you know, spending some time. It'll be fun. But yes, the plan today is to get as much done as possible because tomorrow we're getting quite a lot of snow. There's a lot of big jobs to do, so not sure we can manage them all. I'm waiting for another manure delivery. The guy said he might be able to come today, so we'll see. It's a good day to come because it's before it gets so wet again, and I need to start digging out for the greenhouse, leveling the ground, and yeah, first need to tidy up the hedge. I think I need to thin a bit more, so maybe a bit more sawing and then sorting out the branches and stuff, but I'm not going to show you that because that's pretty boring. But yeah, I'll talk you through what I'm going to do with the leveling the ground for the greenhouse. It's not that complicated, but if you haven't done it before, might not be the simplest thing to work out. It's actually sort of sunny, isn't it? Yeah, I've arrived at my plot and it's looking very shrouded in white. One thing I think I need to do is dig up my cordon apple and pear tree from next to the greenhouse, so I might do that today. I'm hoping the root system will be quite small. I mean, they're on extreme dwarfing rootstock, and I can just put them in one of the empty compost bags for now, obviously with some soil. and then think about whether to plant them up somewhere else out here or put them in pots in the garden, or yeah, I haven't 100% decided what to do yet. We're redoing the garden, so there isn't really the space for them yet there. So either way, they're probably going to go into some sort of container before final place is decided. But as soon as you dug them up, time's ticking. I mean, now is the time to plant fruit trees. So yeah, and I did buy these cordons with the idea that you can move them. So hopefully that's true. I thought I'd get some of the harvest out from summer that I've stored in my house. Just give them a once over. So it's a bit windy today, but I thought I'd get the winter squash out to have a look at them. So I only have 3 left. I've eaten quite a few, but these ones have been the good keepers so far. This is Galleuse désignée. It's like a warty old squash. Anywhere you scar the skin, these warts will appear. So you can scar your name into it basically if you want. Which is a bit of fun maybe if you have kids. Taste-wise, it's very good. It's got really firm flesh and it's perfect for roasting or soups, you know, most of your things. And yeah, it's an old French variety. So this is one of the bigger ones I grew. This is blue banana, which is a rare heirloom variety from America, I think, from the Native Americans. Indigenous people there, and yeah, I mean it's like a zeppelin, right? So I grew this because I got given the seedlings from a plot neighbour because she didn't want to grow so many. She grew 2, I think. So I grew this up vertically and it did really well. I just had to support the fruit a bit. It's quite large, as you see. I haven't opened it yet, don't know what it looks like, but it's supposedly super gorgeous, like bright orange inside, but it's known to be a good keeper, and so far so good. Yeah, look forward to tasting that one. I should say I haven't managed to find seeds for this one, so I'm tempted to keep some, even though I wasn't too careful with cross-pollination. But if I can't find seed, I might just grew some of these and just hope for the best. And the last one I've got left is a Crown Prince squash. So this is an F1 variety, and it grew really well. It's early to set fruit. It grew 3 fruit for this vine. This one was grown in homemade compost, so it was huge and had lots of more fruit, but obviously it was quite a bad squash year, wasn't it? So I had another plant that didn't grown in bought compost, and you only set 1 small fruit, so there's a lesson there. But these are really tasty. I'm not averse to growing F1 varieties. There's nothing dangerous with them. It's just that you have to pay more for the seed and you can't save the seed, which from an environmental point of view is a bad thing, right? But it's so hard to save seeds from squash anyway. You have to be so careful with cross-pollination. So to me, I always buy my squash seed. Ooh, it's so pretty. It's like a moon. That's no moon. Even though it's very windy today, it feels good to sit and get these kernels off my glass gem corn. So this is a variety of corn that is not grown for eating as a sweet corn. It's not a sweet corn, it's a flint corn. So you use it for grinding, for flour, or for popping, for popcorn, which is what I'm gonna do. So the beautiful colors comes from very, very careful crossing of several different types of corn over a long time. It's the love project of a certain Native American man who spent his whole life doing this, and then he passed it on to his apprentice who continued it, and it's just amazing, the results. You have to be careful with them because with any corn you have to grow them far apart from any other. Like all corn, this is pollinated by the wind, so you don't want them to cross-pollinate because then you don't get these colors, and they vary quite a lot. So you can get these multicolored ones. They are very vibrant when they first come off the plant, and you can have these really dark blue, for example, or more of a pinky kind of color tone. So it does vary quite a lot. There's another bluish green one. So they take forever to mature. So I harvested mine in November, and I sowed them, I guess, in April, like when I sowed my sweet corn. So they take a long time, and for the longest time I thought I wasn't gonna get any, but I did in the end. But my god, you have to be patient, and I guess we had such a poor summer, really, so that would have meant that they took longer. You have to be careful then, because towards the end of the season you get all the hungry mammals like squirrels and rats who might be very interested, or even badgers, right? And I did have some, I think our birds came and have a little nibble. But yeah, I'm just sitting here getting them off. Ooh. There you go. And yeah, I'm gonna see if I can pop some. So I had a go from one of the first cobs I got off. I thought, oh yeah, it feels dry enough now. And I tried popping it, but they all burnt. So I had a few tips about that. So flint corn is quite known for only a percentage popping, and the other ones just don't. And if they have a broken skin, supposedly they don't pop. I don't know if that's true, as I know from general popcorn that you buy, that even if they're cracked, they still pop. But also that you might want to try popping them at lower temperatures. That's what I'm going to do this time, because last time I tried with just like the highest temperature on the gas stove, and it's, yeah, maybe that was too hot. So I'm going to try a bit low and slow instead. So we'll see if that gets a better result. But I'm pretty excited. I love popcorn. Unfortunately, everyone always asks, and no, the colors don't keep, you know, the popcorn is always white. So this blue one won't end up a blue piece of popcorn, and this pink one won't end up a pink one. This is a shame. Yeah, so they just look like normal popcorn once you pop them. But so fun, right? So it's 4 o'clock Saturday, and we had a quite active afternoon. I didn't get to film any of it, but I can show you what we've done. It's building up to snow, I think. The sky is doing funny things. We'll see. Ooh, we'll see. Ooh, yeah. It's difficult to film it. But yeah, so been working on digging out for the new greenhouse, and it's gone well, I think. Not level yet, but I'm gonna put in some sort of base. It won't be permanent, it won't be cemented in or anything like that. So either I'm gonna use a single layer of brick or big pieces of timber that I have spare, and just put it to screw the greenhouse into, so it's a bit more stable, and then I know I can put them in and make sure it's square and make sure it's level, before I start building up the greenhouse there. So, but I think that all will be on hold because we're gonna get a lot of snow, right? So, and then a lot of rain. So I don't think I'll get to do any of this tomorrow. But it's a good start. And we also managed to do a lot of the tidying up. So I got all these piles now of branches of different sizes. I'm gonna just have to find some sort of storage for that. But all in all, I'm very happy with the work today. Even though, you know, you always wish you'd done more, don't you? Look at that sky, it's so blue. So the plan was to have the greenhouses sort of line up. So that's my just, you know, not formally, like I'm not gonna sweat over it, but that's the idea. So it'll be like, oh, where's it there? So they'll be sort of facing each other, and they're both facing north to south, or along the north-south axis, I should say. Yeah, and yeah, so they'll both have entrances onto the little lawn area I have here, where the bricks are right now. But they're gonna go soon, so hopefully this year it'll go back onto the patio of the house. So yeah. But it's so exciting thinking about having a second greenhouse. I can't wait to grow my tomatoes in it. It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited. So next to where the new greenhouse is going, I had an apple tree and a pear tree. And I also got 2 blackcurrant bushes, and I've decided they're too close. So I've dug out the 2 trees. They're cordon trees, and they're on extremely dwarfing rootstock. And I planted them in 2018, and I was shocked the apple tree has barely grown anything in the root system. It's still alive, right? The pear tree was slightly better. But yeah, it was pretty shocking. So I've got them in compost bags at the moment. Just filled it up with homemade compost, so they got the VIP treatment, and they should be happy in there for a while. We'll see. We'll see if I plant them out onto the plot somewhere. They've obviously not liked it here, and yeah, the other option is I put them in pots and put them in the at the back garden. It's much more sheltered there, so it might be a bit easier for them. And they're cordon, so they are definitely designed to grow in pots as well. So I put cordon trees on my plot because I didn't want to have huge trees, you know, fruit trees 10-15 years down the line can end up quite large, and I didn't want to take up that much space on this plot that I don't own. I didn't know at the time how long I was gonna be here, but yeah. So the cat is out. He's been a bit crazy. Like, the cold weather just makes him a bit insane. Zlatan! And yeah, he even bit my guests. Oh, well, he bites me all the time. But yeah, so I'll see what I do with those trees. I would really like to have fruit trees on my plot, but I might have to get slightly larger varieties maybe, or maybe buy them from a more reputable place. I had more trees. I think 3 of them died. Yeah, 1 more apple tree died, a plum tree died, and maybe it was 2 apple trees that died. Yeah, I mean 2018 was that extremely hot, long heat wave that we had, and it was so dry. Do you remember? And I don't have water on the plot, so I don't think they got enough water the first year, and I think that's probably why they died. So I wouldn't blame the company completely or anything like that, or the quality of the trees, but if you have maybe healthier trees that might do better, I don't know. So he's just rolling around in the mud. Zlatan, what are you doing? Yeah. So yeah, it's getting really cold really quickly now. The sun is setting. So the cat is like wearing a super thick coat right now because it's winter, I guess. He's so fluffy. But yeah, look at those trees. They look reasonably happy in their bags. Yeah. So, meow. Another good thing, the manure arrived. So I've ordered a second lot of manure. I got a first lot in December, and it's quite not, well, it's quite fresh. He says it's old, but it must have been sat in such a way that air hasn't gotten to it, which means it doesn't rot down as quickly as it would otherwise, like if you turn it and whatever, you know. So if it's completely anaerobic in the middle of the pile, it just stays really wet and whatever. So I'm going to store it for a year on the plot. So I've already got one load, and the second load has arrived, and it was just about dry enough to get the big 4x4 and the trailer onto the plot. And yeah, I now just need to transfer it from where it's ended up in a big old pile to where it's going to be stored. So I thought when I built the 2 pallet width storage bay for the manure, that was going to be enough. It's not enough. So it was enough for one load, so I'm going to have to extend it. And yeah, I need my mallet for that, and I forgot that, so that can wait. Maybe I can do that tomorrow, because that doesn't require actual, I don't have to see the ground, and it's not going to freeze, so I should be able to get some stakes into the ground and whatnot. So that's a good little job for tomorrow, maybe. And then it's all about barreling the manure. It's heavy stuff, man. But it'll be so good next year, and hopefully, if it's good next year, rot it down enough next year, then I won't have to buy so much compost. So I get it from a farmer nearby. It's cow manure, and it's what I used to build the whole plot to start with. I didn't know at the time that it wasn't rotted enough to use straight away, but you know, I just went ahead. You learn from your mistakes, and so I know it's good. It's not contaminated or anything like that. But yeah, so each delivery for me is £60, and I think it's mainly because he needs to drive a bit to get here. It's just the contact I made when I first started, and I've kept coming back to him. I'm sure there's someone closer who could deliver as well, but you know, repeat custom. He's good. Paul, he's in my phone as Paul the manure guy. I got his contact from a previous colleague who also had an allotment on the other side of Oxfordshire. So they were a bit closer to where his farm is. But he didn't mind driving up here, so that's all good. Yeah, so I got a double bay here, right, with manure underneath the tarp. So I was hoping to build a roof over it, but I haven't got that far yet. So yeah, but I need to put in that pallet here. It's difficult. So it kind of oh, it's so hard. Yeah, so it sort of creates like a bit of a diamond shape, because there's a path here. Sorry, this is so crap. Anyway, yes, that's a path there that leads behind the plots, so I don't want to block that. So it's gonna like sort of come down, and then I've got the manure up there. So it just needs to come down this grassy path and get dumped. And yeah, I think I had some help last time with the previous one, and it took about 3 or 4 sessions or so. So you can't do too much, basically. It's just a bit too heavy. Yeah, but it's good workout. And another way of keeping yourself warm. So yeah, so this is the composting area. After being quite a lovely sunrise, the reddest one I've ever seen, we had just a big dump of snow. I think it was about 10 centimeters that came really quickly. So we had some great fun outside before lunch, but yeah, it's already melting so fast. It's crazy. This is the manure pile that arrived yesterday, and it's got snow on it, which is a good sign. It means that it's finished burning, at least those extreme temperatures. But I'm still going to store it for probably a year. The longer the better, really. The other job is the bokashi. I've got another bin full, so I need to sort out the soil factory for that one. And I'm thinking I'm going to use one of these boxes I have that I can put a sort of lid on. So I'm going to mix it with some more leaf, rotting leaf, and then some soil from the molehills. I can put in some compost as well if I don't have enough, but I think it will do. And that's already in bags, so I'm able to access that even in the snow, so that's good. So I'm going to do that, set that up. I think maybe one bokashi bin per box. Yes, I really need to check up online how quickly the second stage of the bokashi breakdown occurs during winter time, because I'm not 100% sure about that, how much it slows down with by. Right, so this box I was quite happy when I found it, just abandoned on the plot, because it's got holes in it. So you could grow like all sorts in it, I think, like potatoes or carrots or whatever. But I'm pretty happy to use it as a soil factory. So you need those holes to get the worms in and other critters from below. So if that just sits on the ground, they'll find their way into it because they have such a great sense of smell. And I've put the lid on, so hopefully the rats can't get in. I put a stone on, but it might not be heavy enough. Maybe I'll get another stone and put on top just in case, because yeah, they can be quite ferocious. But they definitely can't get in through those little holes in the bottom unless they really go for it with their teeth, which I guess it could potentially do. So I mixed in a bag of topsoil that I got from my allotment helper. She likes to grow a lot of, as much as she can indoors, and her housemate bought her that bag because she'd requested some compost and she came home with topsoil. First of all, it's so much heavier. Topsoil is like, God, it's so heavy. And they don't have a car, so I don't know how she got it home. But yeah, so I swapped her some compost for that topsoil because I can use it and it'll be perfect for putting in to the soil factory. The bokashi will recharge it, because when you buy topsoil like that, I assume it's sterile. They must treat it somehow to make it sure it's not full of weeds, seeds or other things, so it won't have any microflora or any bacteria in it that are good for why soil is good, you know. So the bokashi will help with that, and we'll sort it out, and we'll see how long I have to wait until it's usable. So I'm hoping I can use the soil from my soil factories in the new greenhouse to fill the beds up in there. So I'm putting it straight on the ground. I've dug out, of course, because I needed to level it out. And you want to dig as little as possible, disturb the soil as little as possible, but I had to obviously get quite a bit away. But it was beautiful. The top layer is such a shame. The top layer is like beautiful, beautiful soil, and then below that is like clay. So it's obviously someone's worked this plot really well previously and worked in a lot of organic matter in the top. Yeah, but anyway, that's where we're at. So I'm hoping to just put some cardboard down and then build no-dig beds in there. That's how I've done my smaller greenhouse in the past. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. So this season I will have 2 greenhouses. Oh, so excited. If I can get the new one up in time, I think so. Already made so much progress. I'm so excited about that. Like it was just a little complaint I had to my partner, like in autumn, saying like, oh, I wish I had a bigger greenhouse. And he's just like, why don't you just buy one? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I could do that. But then I was like, where should I put it? And I was like, but you have loads of space, you know? There's loads of space here. And it hasn't been as difficult as I thought to make the area ready for it. So yeah, I mean, it's much simpler than I thought, and it's gonna have such a huge impact. So I think I'm gonna keep the large ones for tomatoes, and then maybe have cucumbers as well growing up in the corners, because I can train them up. And then keep the chilies and aubergines and maybe melon, and I have loofah as well in the other greenhouse, though I might need to rejig that because obviously loofah grow really big. Maybe the loofah needs to be in with the tomatoes. I don't know. How did you grow your loofah? Did you grow loofah? And when should I start trying to germinate them, because they can be hard to germinate. I have 2 seed packets, one I bought myself and one I got in a seed cred Santa we did on Instagram. It was so much fun. So you just get a random person to send seeds to. It's amazing. So I got some loofah there as well. So yeah, I've got 2 packets to try with, and they definitely need heat. The question is, should I start them now and keep them under the grow light? But then if they grow really fast, then I'm quickly gonna run out of space for it. Yeah, I need to read up on that. So what I've also got to do is, oh, where is it? Oh, it's there. All right. So you see that under that black tarp is my manure that I got, right? In December. So I need to extend that bay. I need to go get my mallet and put in some stakes. And if I'm really feeling it, I guess I could start shoveling manure. Yeah, so I stupidly left the staple gun in the back garden, so I won't be able to staple the compost bags onto it, which is how I keep the manure in. So these pallets have been stripped of usable wood to build things around the allotment, like this black box here, for example. So that's why they're so sparse looking. But the plastic from compost bags work quite well to just cover them in. But it means that I can't start shoveling today, which I'm sort of secretly pleased about, because I mean, I know I would heat up quickly, but right now I'm just feeling cold. So yeah, maybe I'll just leave it there, and hopefully I'll just get to spend some time in the sunshine here tomorrow and sort that out and just start shoveling. The rest of the week is gonna rain, which is not great, but I will be able to get some loads in, I hope, and maybe then by the next weekend it'll be done. I'm also planning on doing a plot tour every month, though I'm more and more think about it, I'm like, is there a point if I'm doing these weekly vlogs? But I'm trying to think of a different format. Maybe I'll just wander over each bed and say what's growing, rather than, I'm not going to be doing any jobs or anything in it, so it'll be fairly quick, and I'll see what the reception is like. I mean, yeah, just showing what's growing in end of January in Oxford. Alright, What?